Hello, welcome to Module 4. We're going to be talking about client experience and branding today. This is going to be our last module in the phase of clarity. Branding brings us to marketing as well. So we're going to touch on branding a little bit now, and then we're going to go into branding in the next module as well and do a little bit deeper dive into it. But this is going to be all about building off of the last 3 modules that we've had, so your offers, and getting ready for marketing. So what are we going to do today? We're going to become clear on how we specifically help our clients. So again, this might sound like this is repetitive, but we uncovered our offers last module. So how are we specifically serving and showing up for our clients, and what are those offers that we created? And then I want you to think about our offers and client journey that you've created. Do the offers make sense from beginning to finish? Does the journey make sense for a client's perspective? And then I want you to think about the client's perspective. How do you feel about that? How do you think that they're going to feel? Is it exciting for you? Do you see a whole overarching journey? Do you see them starting with you at the low level and then leaving, after a high level mastermind? What does that look like for you? So let's get into the mindset of our clients right now. And we're going to do this in the terms of branding. So branding, of course, many people know it as colors and logos that we currently have in our businesses, but it's also how you want people to feel when they interact with your brand. So what are some keywords or feelings you want someone to experience when they come across your platforms? So, for instance, how do you want people to feel? Do you want them to be excited? Do you want them to feel luxury? Do you want them to feel comfortable or trustworthy of your brand? These are going to be things for you to figure out how you want your clients to feel when they come on your content. So let's review again the current offers. So your current client journey and the current offers you just created in the last module, how does that look? The low, medium ticket, and the high ticket. Does a client journey make sense to go from one course to the other, one program or service to the other? How is someone going from point A to point B with you, and are you able to retain them after they are done with the program? So what is your retain? What's your retainer? How are you going to keep their journey? How are you going to keep them coming back? And then, of course, the biggest question of all, does this journey make sense from a client's perspective, but also from your perspective? So let's dive deeper into this client journey. What is that entry point low ticket offer? What is that low level entry point? And does it make sense for that to be the first thing that people do with you? And then so after that, what is the main signature program with your framework? So what is that, the massive bread and butter program that you have that's going to give someone the entire scope of maybe a beginning framework to grow off of? And then to grow off of that, how do you keep these people around after you are done working with them? So how do you feel about your client journey? I'm going to check in with you a couple more times. So when we answer all those questions we just did anything change for you? How do you feel about your client journey or your customer journey? And then I want you to think about that. And then we're going to move on to branding and how people feel, and it's all going to come together. So with branding, let's talk about branding and how you want people to feel. What words describe the feelings you want people to feel? So for me, I want people to feel comfort, trust, trusting, trustworthy, laid back, open, open and honest. I like all of those terms for my business. And welcoming is also a huge word that not only have I been told that, but that's something that I want people to feel. So then I want to ask you, how do you want people to interact with your content? And what feelings do you want them to feel from your content? So all of that, again, think of it from a client's perspective. How do you want people to feel? And how do you want people to interact? What kinds of things do you want them to say? Are you going to be on brand? Um, being on brand is, of course, like thinking in terms of how you want them to interact with you. So are you giving out what you really want to give out? Are you evoking an emotion from your ideal clients that you really want to evoke? So let's think about your social media platforms right now and even your website. So in the words that you have defined for yourself and you want people to feel, if you're going to go look and be objective on your website and your social media platforms, does it all make sense? Are those feelings coming out of you while you're looking at your social media platforms? And if you're not sure, you can always ask current clients. This is a really great practice and exercise to ask your current clients, or maybe some people, business friends, or even your friends and family, to look at your current social media platforms. And you can ask them, like, what do you think I do? What do you think? What do you feel when you look at these things? Is it calming, relaxing, um, luxury, those kinds of things. So I want you to take it a step further. So this is when branding and our client journey kind of comes together, is how do you want the client to feel as you onboard them? So your client experience and branding, this is kind of like what you're going to be known for, right? So having an experience when someone works with you in all aspects of your business. So how do you want the client to feel as you onboard them? Do you want to make sure that it's a very smooth process? Do you feel that you want it to be, a very calm process? Do you want it to be exciting? Ask yourself these questions and then look at your current onboarding process. What does that look like to you? And then I want you to look at how you currently offboard people. So, how do you want the client to feel as they are no longer your client? So, meaning, like, are they going to stay in your circle? What kind of benefits do they get from you when they're no longer your client? And do you want to offer any? How do you want to stay in touch with them? How do you want them to feel and be experienced? So then, now we're going to bring it all together and have our action steps. So we want to understand our client journey once and for all. This is going to be something that is very important, again, because all of our modules build on top of each other. And so we want the client journey not only to make sense, but we want it to make sure it feels the way we want it to feel for our clients. And then we want to understand what feelings you want to evoke to your clients. So, do you want them to feel feelings of calm or excitement or party atmosphere or laid back vibes? All of those things you can do and you can create through your branding. Um, and you can have those, and just like making sure you audit yourself and making sure that you are taking account to what you want them to feel. And so, how is your overall client experience? How is it currently and where do you want it to go? From onboarding to offboarding is an experience you personally would want. So it's always great to look at it from that point of view. And I will say the thing about the feelings of or how you want your brand to be perceived is very important to you and you only and your clients, right? So for me, it took a while for me to understand my branding. And it took a really long time to find my own voice. When I started my business, a lot of those feelings came from I didn't know myself, but also all I saw in the online space was people wanting to be location independent, people wanting to celebrate with champagne all the time. Everything was light pink or pink, and people were doing these crazy launches that were really, long and hard work, and hard work was involved. And I feel that all of this the launching, the traveling all the time, the luxury that just wasn't me. And whenever I would sign a client, I thought I needed that's just what my branding would be, is champagne and celebrating and doing all of those things, and it never felt right to me. So once I started being truly myself and um just going for what I want to, show in my branding and make sure I am welcoming and make sure that I am laid back and making sure that I am trustworthy is, I wanted to be unapologetically myself. And so I want to start doing things that I don't currently see. And it really, it comes down to I wanted to just have pictures of what I wanted to see. And and I know that there wasn't anyone out there doing what I was doing. So one of my most recent photo shoots, I had beer instead of champagne or wine. And that might not seem like a big deal, but I think that that is something very unique to this online space where we see the same things over and over again with a glass of champagne or celebrating with a cocktail or something like that. And I want you to think in terms of those things. What feels really good to you and what do you like out there? But what is something that is missing that you don't feel is being represented right now? So I encourage you to dig deeper and show that as well, because I'm telling you that you can do whatever you want and you can share those feelings whatever you want and be whoever you want. So it's my little pep talk for you. But this concludes our phase one of clarity. I'm so excited that we are now super clear. Well, hopefully, we're super clear. And I will see you in the next module, and we will get ready for phase two, which will be on marketing.